Working on my 2007 LBZ DURAMAX. I have code P0087. Yesterday, I'll take you over here to my fuel filter and show you that I changed these two fuel lines that run from the fuel filter itself over here right underneath the EGR. One of them runs here, the other one runs up in here. They were dry rotted and they look pretty bad, I can only imagine. So I bought some new line for them, and I'm doing my other cheap fix to try to isolate it, and that is the fuel pressure relief valve. So I have to take you over here to the driver's side of the engine. But I'm going to zoom you way down in here and you'll be able to see it. It's that shiny stainless steel plug here on the very back of the fuel rail. That's the guy. I just started putting it in. I actually didn't have to take anything out. I've seen some people take out this glow plug controller, which is right here. I actually just used an 18mm wrench, went in between the fuel line and the controller here. Sorry, I went in between this fuel line and the controller bracket with my 18mm wrench, and I ended up doing some redneck engineering and putting like a 24mm wrench on the end of that box wrench to get me enough leverage and about a day and a half worth of PB blaster, and the plug popped off. I recommend, don't go crazy on it right away, because the factory one doesn't have quite as much thread sticking out as this one does. Now this one's not in the whole way. I just left it out a little bit so you could see it. I'm getting ready to put it in and snug it up, and I did take off my two fuel lines, so I had enough room to get my hand down in here and get the plug started by hand. I got the plug out without taking the fuel lines off, but then I had to use a magnet to get it out. There was just no way to get into it, so I took these two fuel lines off to give me enough room to get in and change that plug out. So I hope it helps. Make sure you use a little bit of PB blaster, give it a day or two. I just, like I said, it's a lot less work than I've seen a lot of people do, and like I said, give it a go. 18mm wrench. Like I said, you'll probably need another one on there for the leverage, and give it a day or two to soak. Remove your lines to give yourself a little bit more of a hole to get in there to it, and that should be it here. So I'll show you what it looks like once it's completely tight, and you'll barely be able to see. There's not a whole lot of the plug that sticks out. Just enough to get the wrench on. Hey guys, I have it tight now. I just wanted to zoom you in here to see. So that's all the more of it that sticks out when it's completely installed. You can just barely see it, but there's enough to get your wrench on. I definitely recommend soaking it down. Let it sit for a couple days. Pull your fuel lines off, and then I'm going to have to move the light here, so you're going to really lose some of what I'm trying to show you here. The main thing is I'm going to show you where the wrench will go. Let me see if I can get this set up here a little better. Lights seem to be the bane here, but at any rate, this is where you'll get down in here with your wrench. And actually, mine, I just used a cheap Stanley wrench that I got from Walmart, and I use it. I position it this way instead of having it. Normally, you would use that end, and I flip it around, and it allows you to get right down in there and pop on your fitting. Like I said, you want to make sure you have a very good bite on it, and you definitely don't want to. If you strip it, you're going to be taking a lot of stuff apart. So right there, boom. And that's exactly how I got it. I was in between, show you this, in between this smaller fuel line up here and then this bracket that holds the glow plug controller. And like I said, this is on a 2007. The newer body style trucks, I'm sure, is completely different. It may not be, but and then you can see what I had going on here. I had the wrench stuck up like that, and I couldn't get nowhere near enough leverage on it because there's not a whole lot of it sticking out. So then I would put the other wrench on like this, and got my leverage that way. A lot of people don't do that. I do it when I have to, just to get things done. It worked for me here, so that's all I have. Thanks a lot. Okay guys, just figure I'd give you a quick glimpse of what it actually looks like when it's installed. There's your two fuel lines on, and if you look, it does look a little daunting because it is just buried in there. But once you get those two fuel lines out, it just gives you enough room to get your hand in there, and you know, once you get it loose, which I had to wrench it off almost the whole way. My hand was cramping pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, but putting it back on, it was really nice to have those lines out. I hope I helped you out. If I did, don't be afraid. Check down in the description. I'll put some Amazon affiliate links to some sharp plates and some tools and some fuel line and clamps, stuff that you guys can use to do this job. I'll even put the affiliate link in for the fuel pressure relief valve that I bought. I got it off Amazon as well. And thanks for watching. Till next time.